Hello, everybody. My name's Awesomeness Games here. Others know me as Hammer. And this is the Slenderman. Thank you all for joining me in this adventure. I'm a very big fan of the Slenderman, so I thought, why not read it? Because I've never actually read his. I'm highly interested. I will be reading his behavior and historical references and the appearance. This is not a story. This is just what the Slenderman is. Next, I will probably be doing Jack the Killer, or Jeff the Killer. Sorry, I said Jack. I was thinking of Smiley Jack or whatever his name is. Then I will be doing. I'll probably be doing Smile.jpg. Yeah, JPG, and then I'm not sure. There's probably a few others I should go check out and see if I like them. I will be doing many game-based ones, including ones on Metroid, Resident Evil, things like that. Because those are games that are very, very dear to me, because I love those games. Those were like my original games. So, just wanted to say that before I got started here. Okay, let's get started. The Slenderman. The Slenderman is an alleged paranormal figure purported to have been in existence for centuries, covering a large geographic area. Believers in the Slenderman tie his appearances in with many other legends around the world, including I don't know how to say that, Dubh, or the Dark Man in Scotland, the Dutch Takenman, Branchman, and the German legend of Der Grossmann, or Der Grossman, Der Grossmann, or something like that. The Tall Man. Huh. I didn't even know that. Alright. Appearance. The Slender Man is a being, male in appearance, who looks like a man with extremely long, slender arms and legs. Though different photographs and enthusiasts disagree on this fact, and therefore it is theorized he can contract these tentacles at will. Well, actually, I accidentally passed a part here. He also appears to have 4 to 8 long black tentacles that protrude from his back, though different photographs and enthusiasts disagree on this fact, and therefore it is theorized he can contract these at will. He is described as wearing a black suit, strikingly similar to the visage of the notorious Men in Black, and as the name suggests, appears very thin and able to stretch his limbs and torso to inhuman lengths, in order to introduce fear and ensnare his prey. Once his arms are outstretched, his victims are put in something of a hypnotized state, where they are utterly helpless to stop themselves from walking into them. He is also able to create tendrils from his fingers and back that he uses to walk on in a similar fashion to Dr. Octopus. The superhuman stretching ability could also be seen as a similarity between himself and Mr. Fantastic. Whether he absorbs, kills, or merely takes his victims to an undisclosed location or dimension is also unknown, as there are never any bodies or evidence left behind in his wake to deduce a definite conclusion. His face is pale, slightly ghostly, and almost appears to have been wrapped in a type of gauze or cloth, His facial features are also an object of debate, and many people believe that his face looks different to each person, if it is seen at all. He sometimes is portrayed wears a hat, which is sometimes a bowler and fedora, or sometimes a top hat. He may also be seen wearing a long, flowing necktie or scarf, which is either red or gray. He often keeps his long, pale hands crossed politely behind his back or hanging loosely at his sides. His suit is black, sometimes portrayed as pinstripe in artwork. A common misconception thanks to the very similar Jack Skellington from Nightmare Before Christmas. He has long coattails which he lets flow proudly. He wears long dress shoes which are always shined a perfect gleaming black. Behavior. Much of the fascination with the Slenderman is rooted in the overall aura of mystery that he is wrapped in. Despite the fact that it is rumored he kills children almost exclusively, it is difficult to say whether or not his only objective is slaughter. Oftentimes it is either reported or accorded that he can be found in sections of woods, and these generally tend to be suburban. He also has been reported seen with large groups of children, as many photographs portray. It is commonly thought that he resides in woods and forests and preys on children he sees. He seems unconcerned with being exposed in daylight or captured in photos. It's often thought as well that he enjoys stalking people who become overly paranoid about his existence, purposefully giving them glimpses of himself in order to further frighten them. For this reason, it seems like Slenderman very much enjoys psychologically torturing his victims. He also often appears to float or drift around rather than walk, which suggests the possibility of him being an ethereal being rather than a creature or man. This would also explain why he is able to remain mobile in spite of his poorly proportioned body. Even though Slenderman was fabricated on something awful forms, or was he? Some people have already claimed sightings. He is seen mostly at night peering into open windows and walks out in front of lone motorists on secluded roads. His main intentions appear to be kidnapping children, as when he is seen near them in photographs, they usually disappear shortly afterwards. The Slenderman has also inspired many stories, such as those of marble hornets. In the end, though, his purpose remains unknown. An interesting take on the Slenderman by a Pasta member who was relying on the Marble Hornet series for evidence/facts. There's been a big misconception about my pal, the Slenderman, due to the appearance of this article. He does not have hair or a face. Everything else is correct. There's also some questioning as to whether or not there is more than one. I find that unlikely. It's most likely Slendy fucking with your head in order to make you think that there's more than one, which he has been known to do. As of now, Slendy has 3 or 4 known accomplices. These are Hoodie, Masky, the Rake, and possibly the Observer. Not much is known yet because the next episode in the Noah Maxwell ARG has not yet been released in the Marble Hornets ARG. Hoodie and Masky are possibly his followers. In the Everyman Hybrids ARG, the Rake seems to be working with him, but we aren't really sure if that is true or not. Historical references. Brazilian cave paintings. The earliest argued reference to the legend is within the cave paintings around in the Serra da Capriva, or Capri, how do I say that? Don't yell at me, please. National Park in the northeast of Brazil, which are believed to date from as far back as 9000 BC. These paintings show a strangely elongated character leading a child by the hand, but make no reference to the extra appendages. Egyptian hieroglyphs. The next known possible reference to the Slenderman comes from around 3100 BC in Lower Egypt, with references to the thief of the gods or the thief of Cook become commonplace during the reign of Pharaoh Wasner. Hieroglyphic carvings representing the thief were found in the pharaoh's tomb, who is rumored to have some kind of encounter with the entity. The carvings resemble a strange figure with multiple upper limbs, one that has never been found in any other hieroglyph language. German woodcuts. Renowned German woodcutter Hans Freckenberg created at least 2 woodcuts featuring a character he described as Der Ritter, the Knight, during the mid-16th century, that were discovered in Hasselberg Castle in 1883. Willis Freckenberg was well known for his realistic depiction of human anatomy, something that was unusual among woodcuts of the time. These pictures featured a skeletal, multi-limbed character. Historians are unsure of the exact symbolic nature of the character, which some claiming that is a personification of the religious wars that raged in Europe at the time, while others say it represents the mysterious plagues that have been revealed to be the reason for the mysterious abandoning of the Hasselberg Castle in the nearby village in 1541. However, many insist that Freckenberg was attempting to represent Der Grobman, the tall man. According to the legend, he was a fairy who lived in the Black Forest. Bad children who crept into the woods at night would be relentlessly chased by Der Grobman, who wouldn't leave them be until he either caught them or they were forced to tell their parents of the wrongdoing. Even then, there's a chilling account from an old journal dating from about 1702. My child, my Lars, he is gone, taken from his bed. The only thing that we found was a scrap of black clothing. It feels like cotton, but is softer, thicker. Lars came into my bedroom yesterday screaming at the top of his lungs that the angel is outside. I asked him, what is he talking about? And he told me some nonsense fairy story about Der Grobman. He said he went into the groves by a village and found one of my cows dead, hanging from a tree. I thought nothing of it at first, but now he is gone. We must find Lars, and my family must leave before we are killed. I am sorry, my son. I should have listened. May God forgive me. Romanian mythology. There is also a Romanian fairy tale which tells the legend of the tall man, featuring this description which may have taken to refer to the Slender Man. A tall man stood in a clearing, dressed as a nobleman, all in black. Shadows lay over him. dark as a cloudy midnight. He had many arms, all long, boneless as snakes, all sharp as sword, and they writhed like worms on nails. He did not speak, but made his intentions known. In the fairy tale, the tall man causes a mother to kill her husband and child before he slid from a fireplace and clenched her in his burning embrace. English mythology. There's also an English myth referred to the Tree Man, whom is said to have a slim body with appendages that look like tree branches. He is only known to be seen in the woods and was used as a story that parents told their children to thwart bad behavior. There have been quite a few disappearances of children that have been said to be linked to the Tree Man. That's incredible. Wow. Well, guys, that was amazing. That was really good. I like that a lot. I like that way better than the last one I read, The Rake. That was very good. But thank you guys for watching. And I know I'm not the perfect reader. I know I'll mess up multiple times, and I know I did. But I try to keep going without saying anything about it. So, thank you for bearing with me. This has been Austin's Games with the Slenderman, or Hammer with the Slenderman. Thank you guys for watching. Don't worry about liking or subscribing. Just keep the views coming, or the Slenderman will get you. Just kidding. Goodbye.